Call me old man Wade.
Damn you, old man!
Wait.
Old ass man.
Shut up, old man. You smell like fart.
No, man!
Old man.
He's so old, he got a podcast on cassette.
Fuck, you're old.
Damn it, Wade.
And welcome to the Old Man Wade Show. I am your host, Old Man Wade, and I'm looking at the volume of this, and I'm still fucking loud as hell, so I apologize to everyone listening to this. Alright, directly to my right, we got my man, Super Woke.
Yo.
Directly in front of me, we got my man, Just Greg.
What's up?
And to his left, we got Numinous Diddy.
My friends call me what? Did we not do that right?
No, wrong podcast.
Oh, my bad.
This ain't the Remember to Hit Record podcast, which I can finally say now that this couldn't get it right for
2 years?
For 2 years, but now that we're not recording it anymore, I get it fucking perfectly. For you guys who know what I'm talking about, which is probably all 17 of you, the Remember to Hit Record podcast is actually what started this whole thing. Look it up on iTunes. It's actually dope as hell. I suggest the Bill Cosby episode.
Excellent title.
We broke news and shit. How's everyone doing today?
Doing pretty good, can't complain. You know, it's a balmy 30 degrees outside, so I might go to the beach.
Boston weather.
Greg, got anything? You just jump?
I've got nothing. Let's do this.
It's
got nothing.
How do you feel about your Wakandan shithole? Amandala.
No comment.
You're not gonna comment on your about Wakanda being a shithole and how you think Black Panther's overrated?
Oh, we're getting right into
we're getting right into it. Right into it.
Wait,
so let's just break it down. So me, Diddy, and Greg were having a conversation about the new Black Panther movie.
Okay.
Me and Diddy were excited about it, like, you know what I mean? But me and Diddy we're comic book dorks. So like we know the Black Panther, and so when we see this, we saw the trailer and the previews of it, we got excited. The world itself, and especially the black community or people of color, are excited about Black Panther.
the black community.
Just Greg has some thoughts on that.
It's not much of a thought. It's
Damn
outside
right,
of it's just.
Answer this right if you're out
No,
in the
you
black
made it seem.
community.
No, you made it seem like I had these calculated thoughts about the whole thing. I just think it's a bit overhyped. That's all.
I know.
That's it. Like it's not so much the fact that he has a movie. That's cool. I definitely don't have an issue with the fact that the cast is like 98% black.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, I love that. Make 1 million more of those. I'm just not totally sold on the Black Panther character. That's it.
Okay.
So the fact that there's a Black Panther movie coming out, okay, cool. I'm definitely gonna go see it.
Yeah.
But the hype surrounding it, like, I'm more concerned with it being a good movie than... It just kind of seems like, and it kind of sucks that this is the case, I just feel like people are more pumped. People are definitely more pumped about the fact that it's a blockbuster movie made by Marvel featuring a practically all-black cast. That takes precedence over the fact that it's a Black Panther movie. That's what I feel, and that's totally fine. Yeah. Water's wet. Yeah, I get it. No, I get it, but I just don't. For me, I don't. I'm more concerned. Okay, I'm fine with that. I just don't really.
You know what? Fuck this. I'm not waiting. Let me ask you a question.
You have thoughts?
You didn't have any of these thoughts when people were flooding the theaters to go see Tyler Perry movies. Why all of a sudden are you taking this stance against the quality of the? There's so much. It's so overhyped.
No, I don't have. I just think it's overhyped.
Based on what? What are you saying that makes you think it's overhyped?
I think it's overhyped because every time I'm on social media, there's all like people are like drooling and saying, "Oh my God, this is going to be amazing."
What's wrong with that?
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. I just think it's a bit overhyped. That's it.
You're making an argument without making an argument. What is overhyped about it? You're saying it's overhyped. Why? Because people are talking about it and people are excited? How is that any different than any other movie? The only difference in this situation, the only difference between this movie and like a Star Wars movie is the fact that it's black people are the ones that are quote unquote overhyping it.
To Greg's defense, I will give him this though. Greg's defense, he said the same thing about Star Wars and he overhyped about that.
Here's the thing. I think when it comes to Star Wars, yes, Star Wars is big, but you have like whenever a Star Wars movie is announced, it's polarizing. Because you have a side that's going to be like, it's probably going to suck. But then you have a side that's like, you know what, I think it's going to be a great movie. But you don't have this with Black Panther. Like, most people who have anything to say about it is like, oh my God, this is going to be dope. I saw the trailer, I'm totally sold. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And that's great if you think that's the case. Me, I kind of err on the side of caution. I'm just like, oh shit, it looks good. I just hope it turns out to be a good movie.
So your own opinion isn't the movie itself. It's just the almost kind of unbiased opinions before the movies come out.
Pretty much.
So the question being is, and I only ask this, and the reason I bring this up is because you give an opinion that like the three of us don't share, which is great, you know. So. Mm-hmm. What do you know about because like for me, I'm excited because I know the Black Panther character. Like I know
you know more than I do. I wasn't really hip to Black Panther until a couple years ago, and I know he's been around for much longer than that. So for me, I haven't had that time to really grow with the character. I don't think I've ever even read a Black Panther comic book. I've only read comic books where he was featured in it. So I don't have a whole lot of backstory. I haven't had enough to really grow with the character, to really try to relate with the character. I understand his name, what his powers are, where he's from, the significance of where he's from and everything. I get it. But he's a popular character. I'm just not totally sold on his character yet. So I'm looking forward to the movie. I definitely am. I don't really have anything bad to say about the movie or the fact that it's coming out. I'm just erring on the side of caution that it might be a bit overhyped. Because I hardly see any naysayers saying, it's probably gonna be whack. Because I hear that from most other movies. Damn, you're always gonna get that with DC movies. Nowadays. You're always going to get that. Yeah, I know. And yeah, I totally agree with that. And you're going to get that with some Marvel movies that come out. But with this one in particular, I think the fact that it's in pretty much an all-black cast, people are kind of like, don't say it might be kind of weak.
Okay. Hold on a second.
And that's fine. Go ahead.
Hold your thought, Diddy. I got to ask a question for both of you. So, Javi, I got a question. Do you think that it's a bad thing? Because Greg brings up a good point. Do you think it's a bad thing that a lot of us have our expectations so high for this movie?
I think that could be the kiss of death for the movie because there's a lot of hype. At first, I was going to attack Just Greg, like you're out of the black community. But listening to his argument, I think you make a valid argument. I think if the response to the movie doesn't match the hype going into the movie, it's not going to do well. It might do well like the first weekend, and if it bombs, it's going to be hard to get a movie like that with so many black people in there. So the hype going towards it might kill it. I'm super excited because as a comic book fan, I know that Black Panther is central to a lot of stuff that happens in Marvel Comics.
There's a reason he's responsible for Captain America's shield.
Yeah, vibranium. Black Panther, his tentacles run deep throughout Marvel. I think most people, and I'm not saying you, Greg, but I think most people, they get their Marvel information from like the 90s cartoons, Spider-Man, like the Blade movies, and all that other stuff. So most people aren't as aware of the deep cuts in comic books. So I think there's something to what Greg's saying, and now I'm nervous. I hope the movie's good enough.
So, point of full disclosure, I'm actually working on two pieces that I actually greatly cover both these topics. As far when it comes to Black Panther and black people and movies in general and stuff like that. So, I understand where you're coming from. My issue with your argument is the fact that you're focused on the loudest voices on social media. Which I understand because that's what you're actively seeing. That doesn't mean that there aren't people out there going kind of uneasy. I'm excited for it.
But did all those people hold tiki torches?
Funny. I'm actually kind of I go into all these movies like because I don't like to put myself in a position where I'm expecting too much. Even though I give you shit about your stance on Black Panther, I'm going into this movie just like I do every other Marvel movie. It's always going to be for me because I want to be pleasantly surprised. Mm-hmm. But for me, the fact that black folks are galvanizing to support something that isn't an obviously homosexual black man dressing up like an old lady, like for me, it's exciting. I want this to happen. Like you're taking issue with the fact that people are galvanizing about this, and you're not seeing the negative slant, but it's all good. Whether the movie is good or not, the fact that we're all actually getting behind something is fucking new.
But what if like the overwhelming positive response to the potential of this movie comes from the fact that a lot of people are afraid to say they don't like them. They're not excited about them.
That you're gonna get that with anything though.
But I mean, think about it. Like, say if somebody goes on Facebook right today and goes like, Black Panther's gonna be whack. Right? How much people do you think are going to attack that person? Oh, you're racist.
Yeah, every single person. I gave you an example. I'm working on, and this is, I'm burying the lead here, but I'm writing a review for the movie Proud Mary. And for me, Proud Mary and Black Panther, Proud Mary, I really shouldn't be saying all this because I'm basically giving away what the fuck I'm writing about. But that's
spoiler alert.
Those two movies are of equal importance to me. Even though they're not on the same scale on any level whatsoever. Black Panther is this huge, big budget movie. Proud Mary is a smaller budget action movie starring an African American lead. You don't get African American women as leads in action movies. This should be a momentous event. There is a little bit of a groundswell around that movie, but I saw it. Spoiler alert, it wasn't good.
Oh, God.
And I was scrolling through a bunch of stuff, and people are attacking people saying that the movie wasn't good. You're going to get the same thing with Black Panther, but these movies are important. The fact that a movie like Proud Mary wasn't actually good is damaging to which I shouldn't say what we're trying to do, but what black folks want out of Hollywood. Yeah. That if that movie bombs, which it probably will, you're not going to see another African American woman as a lead in an action movie for a long time.
That's how those things work.
And the same thing with Black Panther. But there's no way, even if the movie, even if it's the worst movie on the planet, Black Panther is not going to bomb. Want to know why it's not going to bomb? Because even it already broke a record and the movie ain't even out yet.
But it could underperform, right? And
I don't know how that would be possible. I think they'll break even no matter which way you put it.
The first
they have projections though for how it should perform based on the current ticket sales.
Yeah,
the pre-sales.
Based on, exactly. So if the pre-sales are what they are, those numbers, those tickets are already sold. So that's not going to be an issue.
So is it about protecting this movie for the greater good? Is it one of those kind of things?
The movie, in my mind, the movie has to be good, first of all. So we're validating it in the way that we're treating it. Mm-hmm. So they do have to actually hold up their end of the bargain. Mm-hmm. But we have to hold up our end, too. We can't run around here talking about Oscars so white, even though this movie would never be nominated for an Oscar.
It's a Marvel movie.
Unless it's like for costume design and some shit like that.
It might get soundtrack.
But at the same time, we have to actually go out and support these things. Mm-hmm. So when you look at the support, the groundswell of support that this movie's getting negatively, that's the reason why I side-eye the shit out of you. I give you a Wakandan side-eye, because it's like, yo, it's all good. If the movie comes out and it's not good, fine, we can address that when it happens. Yeah. But as far as leading up to that, none of us have seen the movie. Let people be excited about it. We need as many people as humanly possible to get out and go see the movie. If it's bad, we'll find out after it happens. And then what will happen is, if the movie's not good and our support was unfounded, the ticket sales will drop off. The movie will fall into obscurity. It's not going to happen. There's no way. It's a Marvel movie. But we have to get to that point.
Well, I'm going to say this. Even if, like I said, the movie's already like breaking like all sorts of records. So as of now, they're probably going to break even the first week. Not even the weekend. The first week they're going to break even. Like that's a guarantee. And
that's a bold statement.
It will immediately.
Was it from like 200 range for the budget?
Did you want to look at that up?
Marvel movies are expensive. And this is gonna be.
But this is the way I look at it. Thor has 3 movies. Mm-hmm. 2 of them weren't really that good.
One of them just sucked.
The last one surprised the shit out of me.
Yeah, like you know what I mean. But
I don't even remember.
It wasn't really. Shout out to Numenez. It wasn't really a Thor movie. Like you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. So they had to actually take the character away from itself in Marvel in the comic books to make him a pleasing character to the moviegoers. So it's different with that. With Black Panther. So my point being,
no figures listed on Box Office Mojo.
So we'll say 200 million. We'll say 200 million is what it. They're gonna break even the first week. That's a guarantee. Mm-hmm. So after the first weekend, they're gonna announce that Black Panther 2 is going to be in production 2021 or whatever. It'll come out 2021 would be my assumption. Because they've already had 2 flops with Thor.
Flops?
Huh? Not flops, excuse me. They had two Thor movies that didn't necessarily...
They underperformed.
Thank you. So...
They didn't underperform.
In terms of like the critics and stuff like that, people...
Didn't underperform. It made its money. It just wasn't a good movie.
Look at that. So it
wasn't
like the first one was okay. The second one was kind of trash, and the third one did great. That third one probably saved the Thor franchise. So with Black Panther, the people the powers to be doing this are going to be like, well, people are going to flock out to go see this movie anyway, and then you're going to have the people who aren't going to go see it opening weekend. So then they're going to go see it. So like all the people of color are going to go flock out to go see it during the week and then the following weekend. So those numbers, the first two weekends, they're going to be fine. Mm-hmm. So we don't have to worry about the movie flopping. We also don't have to worry about it getting bad reviews from critics, because a lot of critics, unfortunately, are going to be scared to give it a negative review. Mm-hmm. So it's going to get a part 2. So let's say there are some kinks in the first Black Panther movie, which is possible. But thankfully the guy who did Creed is the guy directing it.
That's one of my concerns, though. I mean, he's never directed anything like this before.
But neither has the guy who did Thor. Didn't do that. The same thing with the guy who did Guardians of the Galaxy. Mm-hmm. Who were the guys who did Winter Soldier and Captain America? Like wasn't this their first real
Russo brothers?
Huh?
I think it was Russo brothers.
This was their first real attempt at Captain America. Mm-hmm. So my look at it is, if you have passion for these characters, you'll do fine. I'm not really worried about the movie underperforming. I'm not worried about the movie not getting a second chance at it, because we've seen these things happen before where like the critics may feel some way about it, but they still get another chance. Because this movie is so important to the black culture, mm-hmm. I feel like Disney and Marvel, even if it gets like terrible reviews, they're gonna go, okay, we see how important this is, we'll give it one more shot. Like, you know what I mean? Because mm-hmm. it has made its numbers, and then when the second movie comes out, it'll still make its numbers again.
So here's how I feel about what was said so far. So I feel like, based on what he said, and based on what you just said, that's still a recipe for overhyping something.
Well, but there's also...
Because it's, okay, I get it, people have a reason to be so proud, so excited, because of what it entails, protected for the greater good. And based on the fact that what's being said on your end is critics are going to be afraid to shit all over the movie, they're going to try to stay away from that. And people, the powers that be, noticing that this is a very important movie, wouldn't that be a recipe for overhyping it?
I don't think it's a recipe for overhyping. Don't get me wrong. There are some people who are overhyping it, but I don't know if even overhype is the right term for that. I think people are excited. I don't think there's anything wrong with being excited about the project. Are there people going on? Like, I made a joke saying that the photo I sent was someone said, even if it's bad, I'm gonna say it's good. Mm-hmm. Like, I jokingly said I'm gonna do the same thing. I'll go see it twice. If the movie's bad, when I put my review up, I'm gonna say it's bad, flat out. Like and guess what? Me saying it's bad will get me 1 million clicks on my article. Like, you know what I mean? If I'm being completely honest about
Don't
it.
be that guy.
I have a question.
No. I
have a question.
Hold on. But my thing about it is, I'm not going to I don't like Mad Max, but even when I did a Mad Max review, I didn't completely shit on that movie because me as a critic and a paid critic, I can see the difference between something I don't like and then seeing the things that other people do like in a film. So I think there should be, when someone goes into a movie, especially Black Panther, or especially a movie of such monumentous importance.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I think it's also important to really be honest about it when you're critiquing it. You know what I mean? I think that if, like, let's say, I think Michael B. Jordan is going to be amazing as Killmonger. I think he's gonna do for Killmonger what Heath Ledger did for the Joker. Like, you know what I mean?
So
There's been some bold things.
that's a
I'm saying it now. I think he's gonna do be that. We have a side bet on. Diddy have a side bet on that.
Okay. 2 things. 1 thing.
You only get 1.5 things.
Well, okay. I'm gonna go in reverse. The only thing about this movie that has me giving it the side eye is the little bits that I've seen of Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger.
What about it?
It
hasn't grabbed you yet?
No, it seems like he's trying to go for it, but he sounds fucking stupid. I want to see it all burn. What is that? What voice is that? But hold on, before you move on,
so serious?
The main point that I wanted to point out is, what makes you think that critics are going to be afraid to shit on African American led superhero movie? Like, do you read reviews? That's the kind of movie that they shit on.
I think.
Like, look at Bright.
I think there's
not the acting. Bright was just bad. I like shit on Will Smith.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
We can actually talk. We can talk about that later. But the reason is the reason I think critics are going to be scared about that. One, Black Twitter.
Critics don't even know what Black Twitter is.
2, Disney. They don't want to fuck around and lose like that Disney promotion. They also don't want 3. They don't lose that Marvel like promotion. So I think a lot of them. You're gonna have a lot of the majors like Rotten Tomatoes who is slowly losing their credibility. With
Rotten Tomatoes doesn't actually have reviewers. They aggregate the reviews from other places. So it's like not Rotten Tomatoes itself. It's reviews from places.
If people even read the reviews, they just look at the Rotten.
So it's Metacritic with a different name.
It's exactly Metacritic with it. Okay. That's exactly what it is.
I didn't know that.
So it's basically just good branding.
Well, it's more curated, I think, right? Metacritic. Do they mix the user reviews with
No, they have 2 separate.
Yeah, so it's
separate. They separate.
I don't know if this is either.
It's like they have like, if you search for like a game review, the first result will be like a Metacritic score.
Oh, okay.
And they do games, movies, TV shows. Like, I think there's like 5 categories. Yeah.
I avoid the aggregate.
I go to it, but there's been a lot of controversy behind Metacritic, especially I know with the gaming industry. Because I heard that the gaming industry has a standard where if your studio makes a particular game and it gets a particular score, I think like a score of like a 96 Metacritic review, everybody gets a bonus.
What?
But if it does not reach that review score in Metacritic, you don't get a bonus. And I remember I forget which game it was. There was one game that came out, like a AAA title that came out like a year or 2 ago, maybe 2 years ago.
Was it Titanfall maybe?
I forget what it was. They were banking on getting a 96 Metacritic score, and they reached it. But then one reviewer put out a review that brought it below the 96, and people were furious. They were furious, and I would be too, because that doesn't change the amount of work I put into the game. It really doesn't. So how is one friggin' nerd who's sitting on their freaking couch?
No disrespect to nerds.
No disrespect. We all got, well, not all of us, but some of us got some nerd in them. Yeah. Especially in this room.
Oh, yeah.
But some some guy who just wasn't really feeling the game on that particular day, and decided to put it all on, in a text file and then publish it. How were they able to take food out of my, food off my plate?
Well, that brings back to, kind of brings back to the point of what we're talking about. You want these critics to be honest about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He put his opinion out on it. That's how we felt about the movie. About the game. It's the same thing that relates back to Black Panther. If one person doesn't like it, they should be completely justified and shouldn't be vilified for not liking a movie or a game. So you know what I mean? So there shouldn't be any controversy over anything like that, because if someone doesn't like the game or the movie or whatever it is they're reviewing, they're getting paid or they have the right to basically voice their opinion. You know what I mean? So what can you really do?
Well, a little optimism, right? As far as like what to expect from Black Panther. Just looking at how studios react to movies that they know are going to be bad. They don't hype them up, right? They kind of pull the advertisement.
They did the same thing with Proud Mary. I'm slacking because I broke my neck to go see this goddamn movie, but it's taking me forever to get the fucking review out because I've been struggling with it because, like I said earlier, how important a movie like this is supposed to be, and I'm gonna smack this movie with my dick. That's how bad it was.
I think I've seen one commercial for it in the past.
I've seen a ton, which is actually
there's been a fair amount of commercials on it. The social media presence wasn't very high at all, but there were no advanced screenings for the movie.
Oh,
that's scary. That's scary.
When interviews were conducted with the stars of the movie, no screenings whatsoever. The minute there's a blackout on the screening, it generally means that the studio knows that it's a piece of shit.
Shout out to See No Evil.
the studio knows it's a piece of shit, so it's just like.
But the thing is, Disney plays no games, right? So Disney nowadays, especially after the lackluster Thor movies, right? They're known to like.
You people keep saying the Thor movies made it.
They made their money, but
that's all Disney cares about, though.
True, but Disney also cares about buying freaking 21st. They want to make billions of dollars on these movies every single time, right? And so they'll look at that. I'm pretty sure they've been viewing Black Panther, especially with the relatively untested director. They've been reviewing that movie throughout its production process. And Disney will scrap a movie, like scrap half the movie, bring in new directors, rewrite, refilm if they need to. They've done it, so hopefully
they're currently doing
they'll massages.
They're currently doing it with the X-Men movies, right? I go Deadpool got pushed up, and I think
the movie's basically done. The movie's basically done.
They're pushing that back up, and I think
actually no, it is done. What am I talking about?
The New Mutants movie was pushed back.
Really?
So Deadpool was supposed to come out in June. That was coming out May 18th, and the
I think that's a mistake.
When's the Han Solo movie coming out? Because they might be like rearranging things.
I think that's their whole thing. Is like they're gonna do a Star Wars like every end of the year.
Every year, yeah.
I don't know. It's funny because I feel about Black Panther the way I did about Deadpool, just because I'm a fan of the character, so I want this movie to succeed. But if Deadpool would have sucked, I'd be the first person to be like, "Yo, this is whack."
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Something just dawned on me. I think that because Black Panther is so ingrained, well, it could potentially be so ingrained in our culture, I think that we are overthinking the way Disney is thinking about this movie. Disney is not thinking about this movie as it's going to be some revolutionary movie for black folks. Disney's not thinking about this movie as if it's going to be the biggest movie on the planet. Disney is looking at this movie as it's another movie in the slate of Marvel movies that they're making. That's it. They're not out to
reinvent. So everything else is just a number.
They're not concerned with the culture. They're not concerned with any of this. We're putting a hell of a lot of stock in the importance of this movie. Disney don't give a shit. It's gonna be just like every other Marvel movie.
Let's get this money, son.
And at the end of the day,
let's get this money,
I'm willing to bet you 100% that this surprise at how much buzz this movie is getting. I'm telling you, I know. I'm willing to put my next paycheck on the fact.
In today's culture, like today,
it's selling itself.
You know what I'm saying? You know what they're doing? They're like, oh shit, there's some stock. We should put some stock in making movies for black people, huh?
You know what ended up happening? This is essentially what they're learning from what they didn't do right with the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, because they didn't really push the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It wasn't. They didn't have the amount of showings that like Cap and all the other Avengers movie had, they were just like, okay, this would just be some other like side piece to like the Marvel universe. And then when people went out in droves to go see it, they were like, oh shit. So they realized, okay, let's not make the same mistake we did with Guardians of the Galaxy, because Guardians could have did gangbusters if they would have had more showings. And I think they realized that, like, you know, once they put out that first every time they put anything out involving Black Panther, it's been like a trend. It's been a trending thing. Like when they did the Entertainment Weekly spread, I couldn't go on any social media without seeing pictures of Black Panther and the rest, Chadwick Boseman and the rest of the cast. When that first trailer popped out during the NBA finals, I wasn't even home watching the finals. I hop on Facebook and it was just like, yo, everyone's talking about this trailer, you know what I mean? So I believe it was you, Harvey, who said this. They are recognizing what, like, a smart marketing person would realize, all right, what we're doing is good. Let's get this out to as many people as possible. And then once they realized that, once the pre-orders went out, that they're like, this is the most pre-sales for any Marvel movie ever. They're like, shit.
Until Infinity War, but that's about it.
until Infinity War. But so, like, Spider-Man didn't do this. Spider-Man is one of the most popular characters in Marvel. None of the Wolverine movies did it. None of the X-Men movies did it. The Avengers didn't do this. Like, you know what I mean? So for us, we're looking at this as a great positive sign. And I don't want to say it's overhyped. I think we're just excited. A rational person, Greg, me, Javi, Diddy, us being rational people, we can be excited about something, go in a movie, and then, like, you know, weighing our expectations once the movie starts. But I don't think there's anything wrong with us. I don't think there's anything wrong with the overhype, as long as, like, when people actually do review it, they're honest about it.
And just so we're clear,
yes, Greg, no. You think Wakanda's a shithole? I get it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with people being excited about it. I've never said that. I hope I never gave that impression.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
I think some people just don't like the word overhype. I guess it just has a connotation to it that doesn't sit well with people, especially if you fall on the side of the people who are excited about something in particular.
It's like everybody when we say when me and Diddy talk about how Mad Max was trash.
Oh, okay. Stop saying that. Don't say that out loud ever again.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you don't like the truth? Is that
Fury Road?
Yeah, Fury Road garbage.
Did we have this conversation before?
We get sidetracked. We get sidetracked.
You liked it?
I love that movie.
We get sidetracked.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I liked it.
All right, so that's where we're going. So you're saying that there's an issue with the word overhyped?
Be. Could be. I mean, I still think it's overhyped based on what was said. I liked what he said. I liked what you said. But I still feel like it's a recipe for overhyping something. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's an issue that people are going, you know, yeah, I can't wait for this movie to come out. There's no way they can screw this up.
You think the overhype is dangerous for the movie?
I just don't. It could be, you know. It could be.
Well, I know. I'm going into this theater. I'm rolling in deep like Wu-Tang in the 90s, wearing a dashiki with my fists in the air.
I had my tickets like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Haven't got them. I'm thinking about.
I never do that.
We got ours yesterday. Me, mom, my wife, and my grandmother. We're going Lux.
Yeah.
I am getting. You know what's funny is I started waiting for this new website, Dan Smack Pal, and I hit my not even 2 weeks into me writing for this company, I emailed my editor, hey, can I snatch? Is it too early for me to snatch the review for Black Panther? He goes, nah, it's yours.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I'm going to go see the movie at 7. I'm going to see the movie at 7. I'm going to come home. I'm going to write my review. I took the next day off so I could write the review at night, get up early in the morning, and then like put it out Friday morning.
I did the same thing. I plan on spending my night writing about what I actually my experience with the movie as well.
And
I think it's important.
Don't be shocked if like we could do a show that night and we'll talk about that or whatever.
Can we put out a trailer for these reviews? Can we like build a hype for these 2 reviews?
Absolutely, I'm all for
Let's
that.
get it going.
Well, I mean, I've been playing this close to the pretty close to the vest, but my website's pretty much done. So I just need to figure out YouTube, and I don't want to talk about this on the radio.
Okay.
Because I'm giving away secrets.
All right. Big things happening.
You say the name.
Which is a perfect segue for Diddy. You want to promote what you do?
What do? I am the lead it's funny, I call myself the lead play-by-play analyst for WrestleZone.com. I'm the lead because I'm the only one. No, I'm joking. There's another guy there, but I've been there longer than him, so technically I'm the fucking lead. Deal with it. If you're interested in wrestling, I cover all WWE live events, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views. You can find me at WrestleZone.com.
Lavelle Porter?
I'm all over the site. So if they go to like the front page 9 times out of 10, the first thing they're going to see is something that I wrote.
He's a big black dude with dreads.
Well, you won't see my face, but you'll see my name.
They can't get that pretty face on there?
Well, I mean, you can always, if you want to see my pretty face, you can check me on Twitter.
Twitter!
Above Average LLP. My face is all over that. And man, is it a pretty face.
Greg, anything you want to promote?
Nope.
What about Black Panther? You want to promote that?
I'm not even here.
How the fuck can I be Haitian? I don't even exist. You don't want to talk about the invasion of the Skrull Empire? He loves you.
He loves you.
Javi, Super Bowl. Got anything you want to promote?
Yo, just love. That's it.
it.
Vote. Drink plenty of water and visit
Carbonated water counts as well, right?
I don't know. I think there's some issues with that. Like,
really?
Carbonated water isn't as healthy as flat water.
Don't do that to me.
Hey man,
you just fucking ow.
It also tastes like nothing and it hurts. I hate carbonated.
I love garbage.
Because I don't like to drink
but the flavor.
soda. I don't like to drink soda, so I drink this. Stuff like this.
Yeah, it's the.
You hold that like a Mentos commercial.
Yes, it's better than soda. As you can see from my spectacular body.
Listen, I was saying this again. Greg is the only person in here who can actually make a comment about someone's body. We're over here looking like Adonis.
Mm-hmm. Greg is the black version of the dude that they made in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
He's the perfect man.
It's funny, he's also wearing gold shorts today.
Dude, hold back the banana house, man. If you look for me, I currently write for Bam Smack Pow, Mark Lynch. If you type in Mark Lynch, Bam Smack Pow, I'll come up. I write. You have to do 8 articles a month, so I get those 8 articles a month. I do comic book reviews. I do opinionated pieces. If I find some news, I break it down about why it's important, what happens, how this will affect the comic books, and what will happen via the comic books and the movies. Most recently, I did a piece on Black Panther / T'Challa's 7 greatest allies, his 10 greatest villains. I'm also working on a collaborative piece for comic books and Royal Rumble, so stay tuned for that.
Dig it.
Can you?
Or as Booker T would say, it's gonna be good.
What?
That's the thing he says now.
God, he is the worst.
Yeah.
Is he still wrestling?
No, he's announcing now. Apparently there's a T in good. It's gonna be good.
I'm over it.
We take what we want. We take what we want. And I'm gonna go, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
I can't say it.
We coming for you, Coco. Yo, can I just say that Coco porn is the funniest shit ever?
I can't bring myself to watch it.
Yo, if you ever need a laugh, it's fucking hysterical.
Because I clicked on one, right? Mm-hmm. And, the black dude, it jumped right into it. The black dude was fucking the white bitch or whatever. And they do this thing where they like bring the white dude like close into it.
Oh, yeah.
And his face was like right next to, the dick. And he's fucking her, and the white dude's face was like this. The black dude pulls his dick out, and the white dude starts sucking it.
Oh!
So now, anytime I see anything that says cuckold on it, I won't click on it.
I am no longer doing that either.
Thank you for that.
It's a warning.
You just ruined the kink of mine.
But it's funny because like you always like, oh, I can't believe you're doing this to me.
No, I think
Why is it
I
always a
he's kind of into it.
Why is it always a black dude?
Because that's the definition of being a cuckolding.
It's very pre-Civil War Mandingo-ish.
So is it low-key racist? Like, are we supporting
it's not even low-key, it's blatantly racist.
Blatantly racist? But it's porn, so it's okay.
I think so.
Alright. Porn and comedy. Exposes the truth about society.
What was it? I also want to bring this up. The woke porn.
Oh yeah.
Would you like to explain?
Woke porn is apparently a thing. I found this video online of this chick. She has a series of videos, and it was, I think the name of the video was called "Worship My King." It's like leading up to her giving like one of the most amazing blowjobs I've ever seen in my life. Okay. She was like worshiping him as if he was a king. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but it's like, you're a strong black man and blah 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 blah, and it's just like the whole conversation is framed around like wokeness.
Okay, like African princess.
Yeah, she had like a big fro. It was interesting.
Yeah,
and after I finished, I thought to myself, I was like,
I like the way you phrased that.
I was like, I think I'm gonna look for more of this chick's videos.
Excuse me, miss, I forgot your name. Thank you, God bless you, good night. Okay. I felt weird watching it because I'm like, I kind of feel like this is disrespectful, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like
that's what I hate about like today, like what's going on today, right? Like now I have to be like concerned about the kind of porn I watch. Like, I'm gonna be okay. So I'm exposing a little bit, way too much about myself right now, but whatever, right? So like, you look at the categories and you can't really do like, who gets smacked in the face by 8 penises or whatever, right? Like, I feel bad about that. Like, I kind of think about like, what happened in her life that brought her to this point? Like, who's forcing her? Yeah, crack.
Daddy issues.
Yeah, crack and daddy issues.
Yeah.
The porn recipe. That sounds like a good title.
What?
The porn recipe?
Like Black Panther and the porn recipe. Oh my god.
Oh my
god.
And you know it's going to be Lexington Steel, right? You know it's going to be Lexington Steel, right?
He's a little too tall.
Is it wrong that I'm going to feel really bad jacking off to Black Panther porn? Because I kind of feel bad. It's like the Kingdom of Wakanda, and it's just like he's going to finish. He's going to go Amandale. Like it just seems like it's just one of those things we shouldn't watch.
He's going to be getting blown, and the chick's going to stick her thumb in his ass, and he's going to go mistake.
But it's about time, don't you think? We should be allowed to now.
Vibranium condoms. Ain't no cum getting through that. Oh man.
Well, technically, vibranium absorbs energy, so you might be defeating the purpose using vibranium condoms.
Oh shit! I haven't thought about that.
Come on, man. You gotta think about that stuff.
You're apparently too smart for everybody else in this room. That makes too much sense.
Yeah,
right?
Too much sense.
There's gonna be no friction but T'Challa will find a way.
Spider-Man said it. That shield does not obey the laws of physics at all.
No, it doesn't. It's not supposed to. So it cracks me the fuck up that this is actually, I never even thought about that. Like that's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be exclusive on black.com though, right?
Nah, they don't do porn parodies. It'll be a Vivid, I think. I think Vivid's the big porn parody company.
Who did the Star Trek ones? Was it Vivid?
I think so.
Yeah, they probably.
I feel like a lot of companies do, but I think there's one company that they're the ones that go all out. Like the Avengers ones, like the one where Lexington Steel is Nick Fury. It's like the costumes, like they treat these like they're legitimate movies. Well, they are legitimate movies, but you know what I mean.
The highest budget porn film of all time was a Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
I remember that.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
Like it was legit. Like they had like
they
boats and shit. Like it was crazy.
I wonder what kind of numbers they did.
I bet you they didn't do the numbers that Black Panther's gonna do over the weekend.
Or they probably did. Porn's pretty popular. I'm just gonna say. I think porn's probably the biggest entertainment industry on earth right now.
I don't even know how to respond to any of this. Like just the fact that that's actually gonna be a thing. I got nothing. I think we just derailed the show at 44 minutes. You guys got anywhere to go?
I got stuff.
I gotta go to work,
but it's whatever.
You guys got another 45 minutes in. You record another one.
Whatever. Yeah. Are you good?
My mind's telling me no. Alright, let's do this.
Can I get a damn it wait for one of you?
I did the last time. Last time we did, I did it.
Damn it, wait.